You want to change your life? Then stop chasing the world and start mastering yourself. Stop waking up every day thinking the answers are somewhere out there. They're not. They're inside you, right now, right here. You are the solution. But as long as you keep living by the same emotions, thinking the same thoughts, and making the same choices, you are reliving your past and calling it your future. That's not growth. That's repetition. The world will pull you in 100 directions if you let it. People will hand you their fears, their doubts, their noise, and if you're not careful, you'll start to believe it's your own. That's why you must learn to silence the outside and tune into the truth that's been buried under layers of conditioning, pain, and distraction. You must focus on yourself, not out of ego, but out of necessity. Because if you don't know who you are, the world will tell you, and they'll get it wrong. This is about self-awareness. This is about healing. This is about waking up one day and saying, I'm done living on autopilot. Because you can't keep hoping for a new life while clinging to the thoughts and behaviors of the old one. Transformation doesn't begin when your environment changes. It begins when you change. When you finally decide to break the cycle and become conscious of every moment. Understand this, your personality creates your personal reality. If you want to change the reality, you have to change the personality. That means becoming someone you've never been before. It means waking up in the morning and thinking greater than your circumstances. Feeling greater than your fears. Choosing your emotions instead of being a slave to them. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your mistakes. You are consciousness in motion, energy with intention. And when you learn to direct that energy inward, when you start living by design instead of by default, you shift everything. Because the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. Chaos outside means chaos within. Clarity outside begins with clarity within. Most people wait for something traumatic to happen before they finally look inward. They wait for rock bottom before they wake up. But you don't have to wait for a breakdown to begin the breakthrough. You can choose right now, this very second, to change your trajectory. You can choose to focus on your breath, your body, your thoughts, and align them with the life you actually want. Let the world be loud. Let others chase noise and approval. You go quiet. You go deep. Because you know the real work, the only work that matters, is the work you do on yourself. The morning meditation, the journaling, the commitment to staying aware when it's easier to go numb, the discipline to feel the emotion and still act on your vision. Every time you visualize the future and feel the emotion of that reality, you are conditioning your body to believe it's already true. And the more real it feels, the more the universe begins to mirror it back to you. That's not philosophy, that's biology. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and one vividly imagined. So why waste time imagining failure? Why rehearse pain? Why dwell on things that already happened and cannot be changed? Focus on yourself. Build the image of your future in such rich detail that your body begins to believe it's already happening. Walk with the energy of your next level. Speak like the person who already achieved it. Think like the version of you who no longer doubts. When you do that consistently, you create coherence between your heart and your mind. And that's when the real magic begins. It's not enough to want change. Wanting is passive. You have to embody it. You have to become it. That means no more talking about it, no more waiting, no more someday. It starts with what do you really want? Who do you need to become? What habits are keeping you stuck in the old story? You can't bring your old self into your new life. That version of you doesn't belong there. That version of you was built for survival, not expansion. You have to shed it layer by layer, belief by belief, until what's left is real, raw, and powerful. And yes, that process is painful. Growth always is, but you'll never regret the pain that leads to freedom. Focus on yourself so deeply that your energy becomes unshakable, that your peace becomes your baseline, that your presence becomes louder than your words. Because when you start living in alignment with your future self, the universe rearranges itself to match your frequency. Opportunities appear, people shift, circumstances bend, not because you're chasing them, but because you're attracting them. That's how powerful you are. That's how magnetic you become when you stop leaking energy into things that don't serve you. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Every time you pick up your phone in the first 5 minutes of your day, you've already handed your power to the world. Take it back. Begin the day with you. Breathe, move, set intention. Remind yourself of who you are, and more importantly, who you are becoming. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, about making one conscious decision at a time, about falling off and getting back up over and over again until the old habits die and the new ones take root. You don't need to force anything. When you're in alignment, things flow. When you're clear, you stop chasing and start receiving. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop surviving and start living. So if your world feels heavy right now, if you feel stuck, if nothing seems to be working, stop looking out there and start looking in here. Your power was never in the job or the relationship or the validation. It was always you. It's always been you. And once you commit to focusing on yourself, your healing, your vision, your evolution, everything else begins to shift. The timing, the people, the answers, they all start to fall into place. Not because you forced them, but because you finally remembered who you are.